Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Hickory with Millionaire.com, and for this video, you're looking into REITs. What are REITs and why should you even care? Plus, at the end of this video, I'll be giving away two stocks that I'm currently invested in that involves real estate. So, REITs are really a good idea to go ahead and get into, or actually real estate in general if you're looking to be a millionaire. Most of the millionaires that I've spoken to are involved in real estate in one way or another. REITs are the easiest and cheapest entry point if you want to start getting into real estate. I'll talk about some of the plus sides and some of the downsides later in this video. One of the millionaires that I speak to, he has about 30 residential properties. A lot of them are falling apart and they fix up a lot, but he has that along with a couple other businesses. And my mentor, he owns about 5 residential real estate houses in this state, and he owns some commercial properties outside of this state. That cash flow, let's see, one of them I think brings in about $15,000 or so a month. That's a commercial real estate. Another gentleman I've spoken to, that's a multimillionaire. He only has about 3 or 4 houses in the state, but he has commercial real estate. That's where he's making a lot of his money, on top of other companies. So each of those people that I've talking to or spoken about, those 3 examples, actually have other companies. It's just that they diversify into real estate as well. That's something that I do. I am involved in residential real estate. That's where I get a fair amount of my passive income. I'd still say passive income because some of them are managing it themselves. Like that one gentleman with 30 houses, he knows a lot about contracting. That's some of his other business. So he does all the repairs and stuff himself. His team does. Myself, I'm not all that great in that area. I employ a property management company to look after my properties. It frees up my time. They do a lot of the accounting and stuff on that side. It helps me out a tremendous amount. They take about 10% or so of the rent of each property. I think it's worth it for the quality and how they respond and react and the trustworthiness that I have and the communication level that I have with them. I think it's worth it. Frees up my time to be with family and friends and to do things I enjoy, like play video games, watch anime. I mean, seriously, 10% giving it up. For where I'm at, I'm perfectly fine with letting that go if it means freeing up my time. My time is more important than that 10% of extra money on that rental, on each of those rentals. So what does REIT stand for? REIT stands for Real Estate Investment Trust. It operates similar, at least I like to think of it similar as to like a mutual funds or ETFs, where you and many other people are pooling your money together and giving it over to a REIT company, and they are purchasing properties with that money. With that being said, a REIT company, whenever they're investing properties, they're not really doing it so much to like flip or resell, but they're purchasing properties to add to their own investment portfolio. So what does that mean? It means that, like I said, whenever they're purchasing houses, they're not doing it necessarily to like flip or resell them. They're looking for properties that are income based, that are already generating income. So with that, whenever you're buying into a REIT, you're owning like a fraction of a percentage of that business, similar to like a stock would play with a single stock company that's on the S&P 500 or any of the other stock exchanges. So you own a fraction of that business, of those properties, and you're entitled to a fraction of that income through a share. So if REITs act like stocks, why do you even invest in them anyways? Why don't you just buy more stocks or diversify in other areas of stocks? I do it for one particular reason, and it's one of my strategies with one of my accounts is for dividends. I have a dividend strategy, and generally speaking, REITs will hand out a higher dividend than most other stocks or mutual funds that I purchase that are within the same like risk level. So I usually purchase REITs for that dividend strategy that I'm doing. So again, one of the positive and negative sides of REITs is the positive side is the entry point, the money that it takes to actually get in on it is really relatively cheap. I mean, you have an extra $50, $60, $100, you can go do some research and buy at least like one share of a REIT company and start making a little bit of money, a little bit of dividend on that, depending on that company and research and how the stock market is doing. That's also the downside, because how they're acting and how they're traded on the stock market, I see them, at least with my own experience, see them fluctuate with other stocks, with other mutual funds. I see them fluctuate more than actually owning a physical house at another location and getting rental income from that. Even though you're exposed to real estate, I still see an increased fluctuation. And the whole idea is you're still getting into it to get that exposure to real estate, especially here in the United States, because owning a house is still a big thing in the United States, despite the millennial generation, which I'm also a part of, starting to turn away from owning a house, and also the increased difficulty in owning a house. Most people are starting to become renters. Keep that in mind. That's good for us, because if you're trying to become a millionaire and getting that money, because it is much more difficult to get a house, you will have a lot more renters available. So that's one of the more important parts that I've seen with these other millionaires, and also myself, is diversifying and actually buying physical properties. So you're at least getting involved with a REIT to get some exposure, to learn some stuff in real estate. But the ultimate plan is to build your income, try to get up into that million, or at least 500,000, $500,000 or so. Go purchase a property. I'm at the point where I buy houses with cash. Try to get up to that point. I really hate risk and mortgages. You try to build up your money to try to get an actual physical location, then build your way up into getting like an apartment complex, which I haven't done yet. I would love to do if the right deal comes along, but I'm nowhere near that money, at least paying in cash. I'm definitely not. So for some added content down in the description below, I'll add a couple different links. A couple will be affiliate links. Some of them won't be affiliated to me at all. One is it will be affiliate link to a book that I've purchased in the past. I've read through. I liked it. I think it's really good. It's kind of a beginner's book in real estate investing. Tells you a lot of ins and outs. I can't remember the guy's name, but he actually has a YouTube channel on here. And he actually publishes several different real estate books. But I'll add a link to his book down in the description below. I have also, if you are getting more interested in real estate, or even thinking of becoming like a real estate agent or real estate broker, I searched online and actually started speaking to different companies that provide like certifications, testing, prep tests, different things like that. And there's one, Express Real Estate, which I'll add an affiliate link down below, because I have joined them, at least in their affiliate program. Other than exchanging emails, I've talked to them by phone several times to try to vet them and really kind of fill out their process and see how legitimate they are. So I think they're worth the test. I think they're vetted. So far, so good. I'm going to go ahead and add a link down below if you're interested in becoming like a real estate agent or working on your pathway to becoming a real estate broker in your state. They operate in all states. There'll be like a drop-down list for what state you live in, and you can sign up there. Let's see, what else was there? Additional links, like I said, that not related to any affiliate or anything, down below, just for some more basic information on REITs. So after talking to you a little bit about the basics of a REIT, giving you an overview of it, how much of my money is actually tied up in REITs. Now, whenever separate from like bank accounts, real estate, other things, business, if you were going to say just investments, I would say I'm probably about 5 to 8% invested in REITs. So even though I'm telling you about all this it's just a fraction. It's a small amount of your overall investment portfolio. Like I said, I only do about 5 to 8% of my investment portfolio. It's the smallest amount that I have designated to like a specific like sector or area, and that's real estate, 5 to 8%, specifically in like REITs. Now for those 2 stocks that I'm invested in that involves real estate, I can't recommend you this. I don't have like the educational background or professional certifications to actually do any type of like recommendation of like advising, but I'm just going to tell you 2 that I'm invested with. You can choose to copy me. You can choose to look into it. I would suggest it as just being a stepping off point to look into those more, like a starting point. So the one that I'm most heaviest invested in is ran by Vanguard, and I like Vanguard for a lot of reasons. There'll be in other future videos a lot of my stuff, especially in the world of ETFs. I think Vanguard is one of the best. I like a lot of things that they're doing over there. So they have a really good price point with this one, and it's been run for several years. It's called VNQ. That's the ticker number or ticker symbol that it goes under, VNQ, and it's ran by Vanguard. There is another one, I think it's ran by, Realty Income Corp. And this one I'm not as invested with, but these are the main 2 that I am. So the main one is VNQ. This other one, Realty Income Corp, goes under the ticker symbol O. They're pretty good. A lot of your big box stores, I think, like Dollar Tree or Dollar Store. Good gosh, I'm gonna get that wrong. Somebody's gonna yell at me in the comments down below. But they're involved with a lot of your big box stores that you would see just down the street. They have their hands in a lot of that. Other than that, those are things that I'm invested in. You can choose to look into that, which I would suggest you doing. Don't just blindly go and buy it because Hickory does. You should never be just purchasing stocks or REITs or mutual funds just because someone says, "Oh, this is what I do." I mean, you should never do that. That's how you'll lose money. So I'll tell you in some future videos on actually how to do some of your own research, especially into mutual funds, stocks, actually especially into stocks, businesses, where to find all that information. So thank you very much for watching.